Hello everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And today we're talking about all-you-can-eat restaurants. That's right.
Did you steal food from the all-you-can-eat restaurant?
It's takeaway. I did takeaway at the all-you-can-eat restaurant.
I heard that was illegal.
Aren't you allowed to do that?
I don't think so.
I ran in quickly with my lovely basket from home and I filled it up with a turkey leg, a nice sandwich,
Bananas.
what else, like a carrot, some grapes,
Did you eat anything?
a hamburger. No, I'm going to take it home, maybe go to the park, have a little picnic, but I'm not sure I'm allowed back in the restaurant.
No, I think you're banned for life.
They looked pretty angry. I get the feeling when you go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant, you should eat in the restaurant. It's not a takeaway business.
So you have
right?
90 minutes and then you
Okay.
eat all you want to eat.
Oh dear.
And then you have to leave, but I don't think you're allowed to take anything away.
I can't go in and take all my food for the whole week
I wish.
for one price.
I wish.
It would be a very good deal, but it's still, I guess, a pretty good deal. I'll just have to wait to eat for 2 or 3 days and then go back. So there you go. I've got my stolen buffet food. All-you-can-eat restaurants coming up right now. Burger?
You're never going to get back in there again.
Burger?
I'll take it.
All right.
The next time that you and your friends feel positively starving, it might seem appealing to try and eat your fill at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. With options ranging from hot pot to pasta to Korean barbecue, there's a buffet to suit every taste. For one set price, you can try a wide variety of foods and stuff your belly until the button on your pants pops. But how did these restaurants arise? And how did they make money? The idea for the all-you-can-eat buffet started in 16th century Sweden, where people would set out a board full of bread and butter for unexpected guests. Over time, the practice expanded to include hot and cold dishes, desserts, and coffee. It wasn't just a meal, it was a way to entertain friends, both new and old.
All right, so yes, we're going to begin day 1 of our article all about all-you-can-eat restaurants. These are restaurants where you go and you pay one price and you can eat as much as you want. Sometimes they're also called buffet restaurants, right? B-U-F-F-E-T. And that's more about the way the food is served. So all-you-can-eat basically means, one price, eat as much as you want. You mentioned sometimes they have a time limit.
Yeah, I think it's usually like 90 minutes.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, people like them. And so let's find out more about this, why people like them, and where this whole crazy idea of all-you-can-eat started. The article begins, the next time that you and your friends feel positively starving, it might seem appealing to try and eat your fill at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Absolutely. You don't want to go when you're just a little hungry for a snack. No, you want to go when you're starving.
Okay, so starve is a verb and it's the extreme version of hungry. It's like very, very, very hungry. So hungry you think you're about to die. So you might say, I'm starving. Now, we say this a lot. We say we're starving, but we are not actually about to die. We're just very hungry. Okay, so this is just an expression that we say. Okay, I'll give you an example sentence. Do you want to get something to eat? I'm starving.
You need a cookie or an apple.
I need a buffet meal.
Right, exactly. But you're right. There are those people, you'll see them on the news because of a war, disaster. People haven't eaten
famine.
or eat very little for weeks or months. Those people are starving. Their bodies
Really
are
starving.
dying because they don't have food. We just need a cookie when we say we're starving, usually, right? Yeah, we're not really starving. All right, so what can we find if we go to one of these all-you-can-eat restaurants when we're starving, of course?
With options ranging from hot pot to pasta to Korean barbecue, there's a buffet to suit every taste. Wow, that's a lot of options.
That is a lot.
For one set price, you can try a wide variety of foods and stuff your belly until the button on your pants pops.
Bang! Or you break your belt.
That's awful.
Or
That
basically
sounds
you
terrible.
just go, oh, I ate way too much.
That does
I'm
not
so
sound
full.
fun.
But that's what people do.
I know.
Right? If you go there and you eat a little salad, everyone else will say, why are you here? Why did you waste your money? You gotta go and have steak and lobster and eat too much. That's the idea. But it is an interesting way of eating, right? An interesting style of restaurant and a business. So here's a good question. Here's a couple of good questions. But the article continues, how did these restaurants arise? In other words, where did they come from? And how do they make money?
Yeah, because people eat so much food.
People eat a lot, exactly. That's a good point. And they are often eating expensive things like steak or lobster or shrimp, things like that. So yeah, how do they make money when they're serving this huge variety of food and people can eat as much as they want? It's a good question. What is a variety? A variety is basically a lot of choices or a lot of options. We like to have a variety of food when we go to a restaurant. We look at the menu, all the varieties of food are listed out there. If you went to one place and they said, we only have one type of food, you eat it or you get out, you probably wouldn't be very happy because there's no variety at that restaurant. So if you have a lot of choices or options, you have a variety of things. You know Jordan? Jordan has a variety of interesting hobbies.
Skating, swimming, playing video games.
He trains hamsters.
Oh, yeah.
He's a hamster trainer.
Oh, yeah. That's a wide variety,
Absolutely.
actually.
And he builds airplanes out of paper.
That's a very wide variety.
Yeah, real airplanes.
So many different types of hobbies.
Amazing. Yeah, Jordan.
And the next word we have is arise. So arise is like coming up, or something comes to the surface, or this problem makes itself known, something like this, or a situation that you find out about, you can describe that as arise. So kind of rises up, or it's something that you find out about. Let me give you an example sentence. A problem arose when the company's best salesman quit his job. So in this sentence, it means that when somebody quit his job, a problem came up to the surface or came up to our minds, and now we have to deal with it.
We often use the word appear as well.
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't there,
That's right.
and suddenly it's there. So yeah, where did it come from? What's the story behind this? All right, so the idea for the all-you-can-eat buffet started in 16th century Sweden.
That's
Wow.
a long time ago.
That's the 1500s. That's a really long time ago. So it started in 16th century Sweden, where people would set out a board full of bread and butter for unexpected guests. How nice.
I wonder why.
Well, because Swedish people are nice and friendly.
And they eat a lot of bread and butter.
Maybe. It's very cold there, so people
Also
have
cheese.
to eat. Yeah, that's true. And actually, there's a name for buffets that comes from, I think, Swedish, smorgasbord.
Yeah.
S-M-O-R-G-A-S-B-O-R-D. Smorgasbord. That's what we call a buffet, but that's the original Swedish name, I believe.
Cool. Over time, the practice, so this practice of offering bread and butter, the style of food, the practice expanded to include hot and cold dishes, desserts, and coffee. Wow, so there's a lot of things going on. It's like afternoon tea now.
Absolutely, yeah.
It wasn't just a meal, it was a way to entertain friends, both new and old. So this is a way to connect people together, gather over food. I wouldn't be having fun if I was just eating all I could eat by myself. So it makes sense with friends and family.
And when you're meeting new people, you might not know what they like to eat.
So
if you have your smorgasbord, if you have your buffet, everyone can find a food they enjoy. And that's kind of why people still love this style of eating. Let's take a break and then we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是关于 all you can eat restaurants 吃到饱餐厅。那么课文一开始写到说，下次你跟你朋友们觉得肚子超饿的时候，去吃个那种吃到饱餐厅嘛，尽情的吃。这个点子听起来很吸引人诶，从火锅啊、意大利面到韩国烤肉，各种选择都有自助吧台，可以满足每一种喜好。而且呢，就一个固定价格，你就可以品尝到各式各样食物，像牛排、龙虾、牡蛎等等。我们要来看看呢，到底吃到饱餐厅是怎么出现的。我们先补充一下 Mike 老师提到 oyster，O-Y-S-T-E-R， oyster 就是牡蛎或者是蚝，生蚝的那个蚝。那么单字 starve 它是动词，可以表达挨饿、饿死，使什么挨饿的意思。那它的现在分词 starving 可以形容非常饿，饿扁了。Rainbow 老师提到这个单字呢，是 hungry 的极端说法。好，那他说到这个 version 这个字 V-E-R-S-I-O-N version 表示版本或是说法的意思。老师还提到 famine 是指饥荒，它是拼作 F-A-M-I-N-E famine。好，下一个单词 variety 它表示各式各样。那么 arise 它可以表达出现啊、产生、发生。它的动词三态不一样哦，是 arise、arose、arisen。那么课文接着写到说，吃到饱自助餐这个点子啊，是起源于16世纪的瑞典，在那边人们会替不速之客摆一盘满满的面包和奶油。那逐渐的呢，这种做法它就扩展到有包含热食、冷食、甜点还有咖啡。好，那么 Mike 老师他提到一个源自于瑞典语的单字，叫做 smorgasbord。它就是包含不同热菜啊，还有冷菜的那种北欧式自助餐。好，这边5个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是 the next time， 表示下次怎么样怎么样。在这边呢，它是具有连接词功能，可以引导表示时间的副词子句，像是 be sure to call me the next time you're in Taipei。下次你来台北的时候，一定要打电话给我哦。第二个重点是 feel 当连缀动词，可以表达觉得、感觉，之后常常会接形容词，或者是接 like 加名词。I feel fantastic， 我感觉好极了。I feel like a superstar， 我觉得自己像个超级巨星。下一个重点是 eat once filled， 它表示尽情的吃，吃到心满意足为止。那么 filled 在这边是当名词用来表达这个足够的量，例如At this restaurant, you can eat your fill of fresh seafood. 在这家餐厅啊，你可以尽情吃海鲜，吃到你心满意足为止。下一个重点是 range， 它当动词可以表达这个范围、数量、种类变化的这个范围。那么 range from A to B， 甚至还可以接上 to C， 可以表达说范围涵盖 A 到 B， 或者是甚至到 C 这样子。例如 Their menu items range from burgers to dumplings， 他们的菜单品项范围从汉堡到水饺都有哦。下一个重点是 suit 当动词可以表达合什么的心意，满足什么的需要。我们常常用 suit one's taste 来表达合某人的口味，符合某人的喜好。你也可以用 suit every taste 来表达满足每一种口味喜好。suit all tastes 满足所有的口味喜好，这些都可以用哦。例如 Our bubble tea can be customized to suit your taste。我们的珍奶可以客制化，满足您的喜好。好，这回到课文中。
In 1939, Sweden promoted the all-you-can-eat concept at the New York World's Fair. The idea captured the attention of Herb McDonald, a manager at a Las Vegas casino. He thought it was a perfect way to attract new guests. He was proved right when he opened the first all-you-can-eat restaurant in 1946. Any money lost on the food was easily earned back from full, happy customers who spent more cash in the casino, and the idea soon spread.
Okay, welcome back. So we've learned so far that if you went to Northern Europe in the country of Sweden, even 400 or 500 years ago, you might have seen a buffet or a smorgasbord, as they would have called it. Now that style of food, this buffet style of eating, might have stayed up there in Northern Europe and Scandinavia, and we might not be doing it except for one big event. Let's find out. It says, in 1939, Sweden promoted promoted the all-you-can-eat concept at the New York World's Fair. This was one of those world fairs or world expos, as they're called today. It was a really big, important one. I think the first time they showed television to people. You know, there are a lot of really modern things there. And one of the other concepts that was introduced to the whole world came from Sweden, and it was this style of buffet eating.
Yes, and here, this new concept was something that people didn't know about. So a concept is an idea or a thought. So somebody says, hey, I have a concept for you. The concept is that we'll prepare all this food and you can eat all you want, and everybody had not heard of it. So it was a new concept. They're like,
wow, that's brilliant. What a great idea.
Have we ever done that before? No.
It's a fantastic concept.
It is. While food safety is an easy concept to understand, it is sometimes hard to put into practice. So the sentence says, we know about food safety. Everybody knows, oh, wash your hands. But what other things do we do to practice food safety? Is our food even really properly cooked? A lot of people maybe would have no idea. So we have an idea about it, but we don't really know how to do it. That's a concept and an action, and sometimes the concept and the action can be different.
All right, back to the article.
The idea captured the attention of Herb McDonald, a manager at a Las Vegas casino.
Okay, Las Vegas casinos are famous for their buffets. Absolutely. But before he went to the 1939 New York World's Fair, Herb McDonald, not of McDonald's restaurants, had never heard of this idea. But when he saw the smorgasbord in the Swedish pavilion, he went nuts. His brain exploded. His eyes popped out of his head. This idea really captured his imagination or his attention. Yeah, well, when you capture something, you kind of grab it and hold on to it. This is in a very sort of literal kind of way. If we hear a lion escaped from the zoo and zoo workers are trying to capture the lion. Police would try to capture criminals or something like that. So they're actually putting their hands on it, holding it, controlling it, putting it back where they can, keep it safe and away from people. But when we talk about ideas or concepts or things like that, if it captures your imagination, your mind really likes this idea. Your mind kind of goes, hey, that's cool. And instead of just kind of going, yeah, that's interesting, and then moving on. No, it really becomes something you are absolutely interested in, you're fascinated in. So it's the kind of thing that might happen when you see something new or go to a new place or meet a really interesting person or read an interesting book full of ideas you'd never thought of before, and it would really capture your imagination. For example, the classic novel captured the imagination of an entire generation. Maybe On the Road by Jack Kerouac captured the imagination of people in the 50s and 60s.
Maybe.
Back to the article.
Herb McDonald. So he thought it was a perfect way to attract new guests. Now he owns casinos, so he wants to have more people to, come to the casino, and then he said, maybe they could just eat everything and they would love to come. He was proved right when he opened the first all-you-can-eat restaurant in 1946. Okay, that was pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. There was a World War II kind of interrupted. It kind of got in the middle there. But all the soldiers coming back from World War II in America, 1946, a year later, they had all-you-can-eat buffets.
They want to enjoy life.
That's exactly right. And they had the money and the time to do it. So it was a really good time to launch this new idea. The article then says any money lost on the food was easily earned back from full, happy customers who spent more cash in the casino, and the idea soon spread. So that was Herb's other great idea. Serve this food, yeah, we'll lose money, but we'll get people in the casino, and then once they finish eating all the food, then they'll go and play cards or play those machines, they'll bet, they'll gamble, they'll spend money that way.
That's how they make money.
Herb was no dummy.
Very smart.
Very smart man. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, looking at all-you-can-eat restaurants, but we'll have much more tomorrow. So make sure you're hungry for knowledge when you come back, because we'll have all you can learn in our language buffet.
See you.
See ya.
在1939年，瑞典在纽约世界博览会推广吃到饱的概念。那这个点子呢，就引起拉斯维加斯一家赌场经理的注意。那位经理他就认为这是招揽新客人的完美方式，于是他就在1964年开了第一家吃到饱餐厅。结果证明他是对的，很开心吃到饱的这些客人呢，就会在赌场花更多的钱，所以即使这个老板在食物上面损失钱，他也可以很快的就从赌场那边赚回来。刚刚 Mike 老师他用到 Swedish Pavilion 来指世界博览会里面的瑞典场馆。那我们补充一下 Swedish 它是形容瑞典的，那么 Pavilion P-A-V-I-L-I-O-N 这个字它可以用来指博览会的那个展示馆，那它可以用来指说可能是用于公共活动或者是展览临时搭建的那种建筑物。好，那么再来看课文单字 concept 它表示概念观念。 Capture 照字面意思，它有那种捕捉，它也有俘虏的意思。可是，在课文里面呢，它是指吸引、激发，像是吸引注意力激发想象等等。Mike 老师刚刚则用到 literal 这个字来形容照字面的，它是拼作 L-I-T-E-R-A-L，literal 表示照字面的、逐字的。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
The next time that you and your friends feel positively starving, it might seem appealing to try and eat your fill at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. With options ranging from hot pot to pasta to Korean barbecue, there's a buffet to suit every taste. For one set price, you can try a wide variety of foods and stuff your belly until the button on your pants pops. But how did these restaurants arise? And how did they make money? The idea for the all-you-can-eat buffet started in 16th century Sweden, where people would set out a board full of bread and butter for unexpected guests. Over time, the practice expanded to include hot and cold dishes, desserts, and coffee. It wasn't just a meal, it was a way to entertain friends, both new and old. In 1939, Sweden promoted the all-you-can-eat concept at the New York World's Fair. The idea captured the attention of Herb McDonald, a manager at a Las Vegas casino. He thought it was a perfect way to attract new guests. He was proved right when he opened the first all-you-can-eat restaurant in 1946. Any money lost on the food was easily earned back from full, happy customers who spent more cash in the casino, and the idea soon spread.
Water running up is a small man-made stream located in Dulan Village, Taitung County. The stream was built by the indigenous Amis people in 1870. Originally, the area was an important ritual training ground. The stream was made to transport water closer to plants. Soon, people noticed that the water looked like it was flowing upwards rather than downwards. Visitors can drop leaves in the stream and watch them flow uphill. The stream is not really flowing uphill. It is an optical illusion. The pathway beside the stream is steeper than the stream, making it look like the stream is going uphill. Visit Water Running Up for a unique experience.
See you next time!